It's day 182.
Of the 29th year and beyond.
And so, with that said, my lovely wife was just informing me we're at the halfway point.
Yay!
Wow. Halfway in. And yes, tomorrow is the wedding day for John and Gabby.
No, it's not. Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow's Saturday.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
He's
charge
the
it to my
daddy.
head.
They
and
don't
my
remember
mom.
anything.
That's okay. I'll be where I need to be when I need to be, thanks to
Well,
her.
we do have a rehearsal tomorrow.
Rehearsal dinners tomorrow, yeah.
Yes.
Any rate, but being at the halfway point, and I just think that that's really interesting because in a love relationship, that should be the point where you always meet, at the halfway point.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
See what I did there?
Yes, I did. That was
Absolutely.
Sure.
You know, the thing is this. There are opportunities where you will be able to be, right on point with one another, all the way from beginning to end.
Yes.
But then there'll be those opportunities where you may have an idea. I may have an idea. There may be something that's more pressing for you than for me, and vice versa. And it's those moments when we have to realize that there is wisdom in spending time at the halfway point.
Right. In the middle.
In the middle.
You have to meet in the middle because, there, like he said, there are some times that you'll both be at the same point. But there are also times where, he may be up here and you may be down here. But you can't stay that way because if you do, you're going to drift apart.
Well, the word teaches us in Amos, how can two walk together unless they agree? Right. You have to, if you don't start out in agreement, you have to be able to get to a place of agreement so that you can move forward in a healthy and a happy way. We've addressed this many times, and this has been a mantra for me all my life, that I'm going to enjoy the journey. Well, I can't enjoy the journey if she's not enjoying the journey and if she's on the journey with me.
Yeah, and then there's a thing about half empty, half full.
Yeah.
What do you choose to be?
Well, I choose to be filled to the brim. But in order to get there, sometimes it requires you meeting at the halfway point.
Right.
And so, another thing about the halfway point, it also denotes where you started out and where you are now. Right. When you look at it from that perspective and where you're headed. And for me, anytime I start anything and I begin to make progress and I'm halfway there, right? It just encourages me to go more and go further. And the same can be said about meeting at the halfway point again, when it comes to decisions, when it comes to opportunities, when it comes to experiences for you and your beloved.
Because you're halfway to the other side. It's just like if you're taking a journey. Okay, the trip is 10 hours. When you get to 5 hours, you're like, wow, when I get just 1 minute over that, then I'm over the halfway point.
Yeah. And who doesn't want to be beyond the halfway point?
Right.
But just be mindful that meeting at the halfway point, there is great value in there, and it can be very encouraging. It can be very fulfilling, and I'm glad that we're at the halfway point. I remember when we first started the vlog, and people were like, "You're gonna do this every day for you? How are you gonna do that?" And we said, because we made the commitment to do it.
Yeah,
it's just that simple. And when you talk about being in a love relationship and being in a marriage, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's about the commitment. You make the commitment and you honor the commitment that you've made.
And you'd be surprised how much you can grow even when you're just at the halfway point.
So, we're at the halfway point of being able to do this vlog for this year. And interestingly enough, as our son and his intended begin their journey in holy matrimony, Gail and I will be celebrating 30 years 6 months from now.
Yes.
So we're at the halfway point, and that's a great place to be.
And they'll be at the halfway point of their first year of marriage.
So until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same.
Bye.